practice a little firecraft today, so I'm just back here up from the road. I've got a little hidey hole where I keep a bow drill set. So let's go check this out. Go. Okay, let's see if everything's in good working shape. Stash it back in the hole. That way I always have one here in these woods, just in case I ever need one. Walk up here to this little cedar grove and hang out and do a little firecraft, and I'll show you guys how to use this bow drill. We'll see if we can't get us a little fire going. Up here on this hillside, I know there are 4 or 5 really nice cedar trees and a few spruce trees. And on the undersides, like this under canopy, they have a lot of really dry kindling. And pretty much the greenery here, the upper canopy, keeps all this dry, like really dry. You can hear it snap. It's beautiful wood. So I'm going to take some of this for my kindling, just a good bundle, to practice some firecraft here in a little bit. This wood always stays dry, even if there's snow on the upper canopy. You know, this down here is nice and dry, and you know, it's the 1st of April now, but it's awesome to be out. The holly bushes are already turning green again. It's really pretty. I love this time of year. You know, it's not hot, it's not super cold. To do is just stop by here and fill up my pouch and you know, just take some of this off, just a nice bird's nest full, and I'll use that to ignite my fire. So, you'll see how it just scrapes right down there into a nice little fluffy pile. This is great stuff. Every time I hike in these woods, I like to stop by here and take a little bit. It doesn't hurt the tree. It grows back tougher and stronger. But there a dozen or so trees, just like this one here. I'll hit up a different one each time, not to take too much height off the tree. You know, just take your little handful, throw it in your pouch. We'll get us a good nice pile of it and we'll get to work. The knife I'm using here, this is the Busey 6, a really great knife by an American custom knife maker. You gotta check them out if you haven't heard of them. Really great survival knife, really high-end quality. Like I said, one of the best knife makers in the United States, so check him out. Okay, I've got me a nice little bird's nest of cedar bark here. I have my kindling pile from the under canopy on the big pine tree over there. This is some white pine inner bark strips that I took a couple of weeks ago from another tree. It's been drying in my pouch. They're really thin feathers here. They should ignite. Even if they're wet, they'll ignite. And then here I have my bow drill kit. It's something I just started trying. I'm not good at it yet, but this is a fun place to try it. There's a lot of good natural tinder. I've got my bow here. My string is actually a bootlace off a pair of Wolverines, trying to simulate using something that a lot of people just in any situation would have on them, a shoestring, you know. Alright, here's my drill. This is made of maple. And then my hearth board, it's made of pine. It's seasoned. And my little ember catching board here. And my top-notch drill piece. Alright, that's all of it there. What I like to do with this is just baton it down in little toothpick sizes, maybe a little bit bigger. Something like this. It's really gonna take a flame really easy. It only takes a second to process it up real nice. It'll take a flame. Even in this high wind, you know, that is one of my concerns with trying the bow drill, is just getting the dust hot enough to make an ember without the wind putting it out, without it blowing it out. Wind's blowing pretty hard today. If you don't practice under extreme conditions, then when the shit hits the fan, how are you going to know if you're going to be ready? You practice in extreme conditions, like you'll see us out in blizzards and minus 30-degree temperatures, you know, roughing it the way we do. But you know, the high wind's going to produce an environment that makes it absolutely difficult to use this bow drill method. For me, being new anyway, it's good practice. Now, the way a bow drill works is it turns this kinetic energy from you spinning the drill on the other piece, the hearth board here, and just spinning it fast enough that it turns the kinetic energy into thermal energy and will ignite a coal out of the wood dust that forms right here outside this notch on this board. And what we'll do is we'll transfer the hot coal to the tinder bundle here, and then we'll give it a little CPR and breathe it into life. But the process is actually pretty tough and time consuming, and I practiced at home a few times now and I'm confident enough that, you know, I'm at least going to try it. The goal is to master this skill. But from what I've read is place your foot up here on the board. Now hold your hand against your shin and then with a downward motion of the saw, or the bow, you really get that thing spinning. But the thing about it is you have to get your bowstring at just the right tension, a lot of trial and error, until it will hold your drill in place just perfectly. And I'll do a whole video on how to build this setup to go along with this video. That way you can practice at home making your own, and just like me, you know. This is all trial and error for me too. I can already tell by loading the drill in there that that's probably a little tight. It's going to cause a lot of friction and stress on the string, which might cause it to break. But I'm still going to try it. Now you just go at a easy speed here, and you can watch the wood dust dropping out there in your notch cut. You can see the smoke starting to rise, and once you get a nice little pile of ember laying there, that's when you really turn up the friction and the speed and try to get that thing to ignite. Now I got a nice little pile there. But it didn't ignite. So, without dumping that out there, I'll just try to put some more friction on it, really get it going. See, everything goes wrong. I'm bleeding. Opened up a cut on my hand from a few days back. I noticed this little string jumping around hanging off the end is tossing stuff into my pile here. Trial and error, a lot of it goes into this kind of stuff. That's why it's critical to practice now when there's an easy, controlled, temperate environment. Because if you're trying to do this in the middle of winter, possibly hypothermic, it's going to be virtually impossible if you don't know what you're doing. See? And my string broke. I broke the whole line. So now I'm in trouble because I didn't bring any more line with me. So we'll take a shoestring out of the boots that I'm wearing now and try it and see how that works out for us, and hopefully not break that one. we'll tie this shoestring on. And we'll try it again. The great thing about my laces on my boots are I substituted them or replaced them with 550 cord and took all the inner strands out, so it's just a flat nylon casing here, which from what I understand also is nylon's not the best thing to use on your bow because it stretches and the friction could melt the string, but at this point it's all we have, all I have, so we'll try it. This is not easy. Also, I'm not very good at this yet. I just started, and the more I practice, the better I'll get at it. Whew! What a chore. It wins you. Really takes it out of you. So I'm gonna let this burn up and I'll put it out. It's awfully windy to be having a brush fire. I'll lace my boot back up and we'll do some more hiking.